I'll tell you what I know. We sat down on LV-426 and one of our crew members was brought back on board with something attached to his face, some sort of parasite. We tried to get it off and it wouldn't come off, and later it seemed to come off by itself and die. Kane seemed fine. We were all having dinner and it must have laid something inside of his throat, some sort of embryo. Look, man, I only need to know one thing. Where they are. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Talk O Tuesday. Welcome aboard the Starship Nightwish. I am Commander Exorcist. This is my weekly Elite Dangerous show where I pick a Galnet article and read through it. We talk about it, and we talk about Elite Dangerous, what's going on in the greater galaxy, kind of from a lore perspective. Sometimes I break the fourth wall, but that's only when absolutely necessary, and it might be necessary tonight. We'll see, because it's been an unusual couple of days, especially with the article that we're going to read. Again, I don't read these articles in their entirety. I may occasionally skim through them as I'm pasting them into my display program, but otherwise, we're experiencing this together for the first time. Now, you may recall a few videos ago, I talked about the upcoming mission from Aegis, where they were developing limpets, subsurface missiles, to rescue people from the Thargoid Titans. Well, those have been produced, and those are being used. As a matter of fact, we have started seeing the first human beings rescued from the Thargoid Titans, and they are coming out of the Titans in some really strange-looking pods. Hence the title of this video versus the actual title of the article. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the shenanigans that are going on in the galaxy in relation to these things, and some words of caution that I would like to give to all of you out there playing with these things. Yes, it is Elite Dangerous. We can't just be serious about it. We have to play around with it. So these pods are being carried everywhere. And of course, Alec Turner's got one in the bar. And there's people probably playing soccer at this point with them. I don't know. But we're going to talk about this article because the first captives have been freed from the Thargoid Titans. Let's go through this and see if we survive it like our Thargoid rescued human companions. The first humans rescued from the Thargoid motherships have started to arrive, almost all of whom have so far survived extraction. That's good news. So one of the things we were concerned about is shooting the missiles at these, captives, and we end up killing them. And so there was some safety concerns, but it looks like the safety concerns have been abated, and so it is a successful move. The highly dangerous task requires an upgraded pulse wave xenoscanner to detect human life signs on the Titans. The new subsurface extraction missiles then target and jettison the biostorage capsules, as the structures are officially designated, which are then recovered using a cargo scoop. Now, if you've seen these things, you may see pictures of them. Check out social media. There's some interesting photos out there of them. They almost look like they have wings, and They call them biostorage capsules, but they very closely resemble cocoons, so or eggs in a sense, depending on how you want to go. So they're a cool design, but really strangely detailed. All recovered individuals are being assessed by medical specialists. The Tri-Superpower Agency, Aegis, released this statement to the media. In each case, a research team successfully cracked open the capsules and removed the comatose person. They were suspended within a chemically complex gel, not unlike amniotic fluid, with tubes supplying breathable air and basic nutrients. Between 30 and 90 minutes later, the person awakes. I wonder if there's a correlation in the length of time that they were inside the capsule to their awake period. The amniotic fluid thing, the gel-like substance that's sustaining them, that's important. That's important because it shows that whatever these people were being used for, they were not just expendable cargo. They were something that the Thargoids wanted to preserve. They were feeding them oxygen and nutrients, and so they wanted to maintain the lives of these human beings. So it wasn't like they were just picking up bodies to collect them for some kind of war trophy. There's something, I think there's something more going on here. And yeah, it's kind of terrifying, actually. All recovered individuals are currently being kept in strict medical quarantine under military guard. Thank you for a little bit of sanity in the world, because that line right there, it negates so many issues with so many science fiction stories. Alien probably wouldn't have happened if Ash hadn't opened that door and let people into the Nostromo. Okay, there's a lot of sci-fi movies and books, stories, and games that wouldn't have happened if the person who's at the door would have obeyed the safety and quarantine protocols. Now, that's not to say that there's not some doofus who works for Aegis running around, and what if there's like a Far God guy that's hiding there, and he's the guy that's going to push the button and let the Thargoids out? Yeah, but the strict military guard and the Thargoid quarantine, that's a great idea for 1,000 different reasons, because these people just came out of a strange, like amniotic sac that they've been living in for God knows how long. We don't know what's wrong with them, or what if there is anything wrong with them. What if they're like a bomb? What if they're just waiting to explode? They drink chocolate milk or something, and boom, that's like the catalyst that causes them to explode, and that's the Trojan horse that the Thargoids have been planning all along. It's chocolate milk bombs. Who knows? So it's good to be cautious around our newly recovered, rescued human companions. Molecular scans are being conducted to ensure that no traces of Thargoid material remains, and a period of long-term observation begins now. So, basic security protocols, making sure that they aren't Thargoids, like they are human. We want to make sure we're not being lied to, because that would be fantastic to basically rescue a bunch of people who turn out to actually be Thargoids in disguise, and they just kind of burst open, and there you go. There's the insect or whatever that's attacking you. So that actually would be really cool. Come on, Frontier, listen up. Okay. I'm terrible with names, and I swear if you watch this show, you know it, and you're just going to live with it. Dr. Himari Gray, an independent healthcare analyst, was permitted to observe these procedures as part of a report in the Empirical Scientific Journal. Already in scientific journals? Really? That stuff takes forever. Speed of war is fast. The former abductees I have seen looked physically healthy and returned to consciousness easy, which again reinforces the idea that they're not just like cargo. There's something important about them. The Thargoids are keeping them mentally and physically healthy for some reason. They want them to survive. Most remembered little about their abduction. Most do. In pretty much all alien abductions, the fact that somebody remembers their alien abduction is like 1 out of 1,000 typically. Though several mentioned an overwhelming urge to escape their ship prior to blacking out. Okay, so this is actually really cool. I like this line because this is a common trope through a lot of science fiction stories in history. Is this sense of danger that is kind of like beamed into the person's head, and so their safe haven, like their ship, is no longer safe, and so it disorients them and it takes away that sense of stability, and it makes it harder to fight back because if you're holed up in your home and you're fighting an alien menace that can beam into your head that your home isn't safe, guess what's going to happen? You're going to run out the door and get caught. So that's what this is. This is a trap. That is a psychic trap, and that's scary. Some described being semi-aware of their time in stasis, saying it felt like a dream or an extended dream. Others were in a state of shock or showed signs of psychological trauma. Yeah, there's going to be a mixture, understandably considering the nightmarish circumstances. So there's going to be a spectrum. You're going to have people who are stronger-willed, have stronger minds, probably have a lot more experience with traumatic events that probably could handle something like this. And then you're going to have some people that have never gone through anything like that. Of course, I don't think anyone's really been captured by Thargoids and held in an alien egg. But anyway, dramatic situations of any kind. So you're going to have stuff like this. That's pretty typical. But it really is interesting to see kind of the human spectrum going on here. The capsules are clearly designed to sustain oxygen-breathing life forms indefinitely, protected both from the vacuum of space and the Thargoids' ammonia-based environments. But what the aliens intended to use these people for remains unknown. Boy, we need to figure that out, because at this point, all signs point to this being used as some kind of resource, some kind of valuable power source or something. They want us alive. I mean, if you needed humans for raw materials, you just capture them, grind them into hamburger, and you're done. But this is something they've gone through. They've done the research and the development for a pod that sustains human life, completely different from their ammonia-based life systems. So the fact that they've done this means they have a keen interest in our survival for certain strategic benefits, I'm sure. Age. It's later stated that identities are being logged and will soon be made public. Oh, we're going to get a list. Cool. With the hope that family and friends will be able to visit. Yeah, this is, there are commanders out there that are capturing these things and just dropping them around and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And, I got to be honest that I've seen too many sci-fi movies to know that sometimes the creepy canister that you picked up likes to break open and come alive. And usually it's like the tar man or something coming out of it. So it's nice that we're being able to rescue people, but I wonder if we're rescuing people who are in maybe an early stage of Thargoid captivity. And so I'd be interested to know more about people who have been captured for an extended period of time. Is the psychological degradation, like is the trauma and stuff, does it become more over time? Or is that, just individually based? But also, I'd like to know things like, I hope they evaluate things like, are people getting stronger? Are people going in with, say, cancer or some kind of illness that are coming out healed and stuff like that? Because that really shows that the Thargoids want humans at their best. Man, it's like power some kind of Thargoid mech or something. Be the brain of some giant robot. Hey, that would be cool too, Frontier. All right. So Thargoid captives are free, and who knows what's coming next. These are the disciples. These are the guys that keep this content running. So if you would like to be a part of that, if you would like to support my content here and my work here on the channel and on all social media, go to patreon.com/Commander Exorcist. Pledge your support. I do special videos that are only broadcast there, special opportunities to see things before the people on the main channel get to see it, and a lot more. So please, I would love to have your support. So, the Thargoids. They're here. They're not going anywhere. We're getting a little... I'm war fatigued out. But, and at first, I got to be honest, this wasn't very interesting. The subsurface mining thing, I'm not interested in it. The Titans are just a little too much work for myself to get into. Some people love it, some people don't. I think it's cool to look at. I think it's cool, but for me, this just wasn't my thing. But now that the reports are coming back, and we're kind of seeing some of these pods and some of the stuff, it's interesting to me how this might be going. And I'm just there's a couple of different ways that this could go. Personally, I would prefer it if the pods like popped open and instead of a human, it was like a spider thing that came out and attacked you. That would be cool. That would be a huge win. Is that going to happen? Probably not. But, looking at this now as it's growing, it's pretty creepy. It's pretty creepy. And in real life, not even just in Elite, rescuing people from Thargoid Titans in the middle of that kind of caustic environment, that's not really something I would be involved in personally anyway. I am the guy out there scanning the flowers and making money on the biology stuff. But to watch the AX people and the rescue folks get in there and do their thing, it's incredible. If you've seen stuff on YouTube or you see stuff on social media, go check it out, because they're just miracle workers with some of their flight abilities and some of the stuff that they do to combat the Thargoids' anti-human tactics, just like the caustic cloud and everything. So it's really cool. Go check it out. So that is it for Taco Tuesday. It is Thargoid egg time. And let's just hope that that the people who have been rescued are not ticking time bombs. And let's just hope that whatever happened to them, I wish them the best in their recoveries. And I hope that our pilots will continue to rescue more of people and bring them home so that more families can be reunited, because that's very important. That's a very important psychological victory, social victory, which are just as important in war as actual hardcore military victories. This is just as important, and so this is good stuff. But I would be curious, now that the Thargoids know we're stealing people back, there's got to be some kind of countermeasure coming, so we got to be watching out for that. But hey, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thanks for your attention and your support. I love you all, and I will see you next week for another one. Actually, no, I take that back. I will not be here next week because I will be out, so there won't be a Taco Tuesday or an Out There next week because I will be actually out of town and not able to do this. But definitely will be keeping an eye on the developments as Update 17 hits around the time that I'm not here for it. So, hey guys, take care, fly safe, and I will see you out there. Good night, everybody.